Welcome to Revcast, a Civilization podcast focused on its console platforms.
El Thrasher,
Deep Blue, 1987.
Scotty X.
Redaf.
Yeah, I hate playing games where I have to assume that the other guy's no good. I want to assume that he's good and then overkill rather than assume that he's not good and just flop uselessly, you know?
All right, so welcome to another episode of Revcast. This is your lead co-host, El Thrasher. With me is Scotty X. No one else this month, just the two of us. We have no one new to introduce this time, so let's get straight into the news. What's going on in the world of CivRev?
The big news is our Xbox tourney, isn't it?
Yeah. No one will be surprised to learn that Revcast co-hosts are in the top running this tournament.
Basically, there's the six of us all playing each other twice. Top of the table, I've got 6, and my friend Thresher here's got 5.
Yeah, 3 losses, alas.
And Morpork's on 5 as well, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got 5 wins, 2 losses. So it's still anyone's game. Anyone could still pull off a win, pull off an upset, perhaps.
Going well so far?
Uh-huh, it's fun.
From our perspectives, yours and mine?
Yeah, I had some really bad games against you.
You're my bunny.
Oh, well, goes that way sometimes.
Yep.
Looks like we're getting ready to start the next series of brackets, but with us champions being tied up in the champions bracket, the new bracket hasn't really filled up yet. There's a couple of people waiting in it. You've got a PS3 tournament still happening?
Yep, we're also moving into the final phase of the PS3 tournament. Me versus Liam now in the finals. So I got a couple of wins in there, so it's 2 out of 5 so far. So that means I need 1 more and he needs 3, so...
Looking good.
Both tournaments, I've just had a huge string of luck, so...
So basically you're looking at that drying up real fast, huh?
Well, my strategy has been to get lucky in every game, and that's worked so far. So.
That's a good strategy. I've made that the core of my strategy most of the time.
Guess we still also have the other various king titles going around. At the moment, my middle tier one has seen...
Yeah, I got to play you for that. I just... I have this horrible condition that's preventing me from doing that. It's known as a job. But I understand that it should clear up in about 30 or 40 years, so...
Okay, that's good. I'll once you get over that, I'll take you down a few times for the mid title. Then I'll give something to go.
I look forward to that. There was also this other thing. I actually haven't paid that much close attention to it, but this other thing that Jack of all Civs is starting.
Casual competition, is it?
Casual competition. What's that all about?
I haven't completely got the gist of it yet, but it sounds like it's basically a competition where you, not scheduled games, you versus someone else. You just play one of the other forum members, go in there, play your set of games and declare a winner, and then that just goes towards your tally. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a cross in between having a league and having a tournament.
We were going to spend a little time talking about wonders, great wonders of the world that you can build, and specifically relating to competitive multiplayer play. Instantly and immediately disqualifies most of the wonders as being total waste of time. So if we haven't talked about your wonder, it's probably not worth building. Like the Magna Carta or something like that. You wouldn't build the Magna Carta. Just doesn't do anything. Not worth the effort. So, I mean, obviously there's the wonders that you can start with as Egypt, and you don't get to pick that. And sometimes that's useful and sometimes it's not. Those wonders I would almost never build. Obviously not Stonehenge.
Yeah, Stonehenge have no advantage at all, really. The Oracle I
could see building that.
built once in a while.
Yeah.
You're just about to win the game, probably anyway, turning up with a bunch of legions or something at the guy's doorstep. But you also know that you've got the advantage, so you don't need to do the wearing down thing. Uh-huh. And you just don't want to lose some dumb unlucky battle.
Right. And most importantly, you do not have monarchy. Because if you do have monarchy, you're taking the samurai castle instead, because it's better.
Yeah.
there's the Colossus of Rhodes. I mean, obviously that's the wonder that you're hoping for when you play Egypt. But in terms of building it, you get the Colossus, you have several desert tiles, you're growing quickly, you get the free trading post, and you build a library. Colossus is great there, but Colossus in, like, I don't know, 2-pop city or something like that you put on fish, or I guess if you have a really early great builder, it might be the best thing you can do, but I don't know.
There was a phase in PlayStation where we were getting great builders and then GBing the Colossus in order to have a tech strategy. But
you can almost just get one more city out and be just as good.
Yeah, the problem there is that it's just heading in the wrong direction, generally speaking, for your strategy.
You can contrive of an example where it's awesome, but it tends not to be awesome. I think the Samurai Castle is just fantastic to have any old time. I mean, obviously, we hate attacking early and attacking often. It gives +1 attack across the board with no kind of drawbacks at all, unless you don't take very good care of that city and lose it and your opponent has it now. I mean, that's a drawback, but
it also makes it harder for them to take that city, because now your archers and everything better earlier than it is later.
Certainly.
Because +1 on 1 is really good. +1 on 2 is really good. +1 on, whatever it is, 8 or something is probably...
It's still really good. I hear what you're saying, but I think it's still really good to have +1 on 8 or even 10 or whatever. The only time I wouldn't build that is if there's something that's better to build right now, or if someone's about to have communism.
Yep.
Because that's what obsoletes it. So, I mean, when the Mongols get to modern, they obsolete it.
Yep.
East India Company is another wonder that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the lure of it is maybe a little too enticing. You're a great builder and then end up veering way off your tech path to go get navigation when that's not actually where you should be headed.
Quite often, catapults and navigation is a pretty good tech path. In a lot of games, you'll go for writing maths and then navigation. And navigation allows you to control the seas. And then after that, then it's just there for your GB to East India Company.
And it obsoletes with flight, so that's pretty far into the game. Tend to last a long time. So that's a good wonder to build. Obviously, Leonardo's Workshop is not something that you're going to go for every game. In fact, I haven't played games in which people get to invention very often lately, and I don't think you have either.
Yeah.
But if you get there, if you're turning your warriors into tanks or knights even, it's pretty good.
Yep. Generally, it's going to be warriors into knights, because tanks are quite a way down the tech path in a competitive game.
Yep.
And if you're waiting all the way up to combustion to go and use your great builder, it's a little way to wait.
The only thing I would really say about Leonardo's Workshop is have offensive armies to upgrade. So yeah, warriors into knights is great, or legions into knights. If you happen to be up near combustion, it's pretty awesome. But if you're building it to turn your archers into riflemen, what good is that? Who cares,
Yeah. The other one I was thinking that might be of some use, but nobody ever seems to use because it's not on their tech path, would be the pyramids.
Yeah.
That in theory, if you were to build that, you could flip over to fundamentalism and get the fundamentalism bonus.
Yeah, fundamentalism, I guess that would be a reason to do that. But see, I'd kind of rather have the Samurai Castle. I guess my thought would be that if I get a builder early, maybe I should get Monarchy really fast and build the Samurai Castle or something. I would also be thinking about the Great Wall, assuming I'm playing a fair opponent. How much can I get out of building the Great Wall? How many turns is that going to buy me?
So right at the beginning of the game, Monarchy's a little too far away for me to build a strategy around it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to make it there against a really good player. Or if I do make it there, then the game's already decided by that point. I need to use it fast. And Masonry's close enough for me to be able to use it. For the Great Wall,
it's true. The Great Wall, which, we all kind of have gentlemen's agreements about, kind of the consensus has come down to the idea that, so I have the Great Wall and I choose to go and attack someone, I shouldn't try to force peace again that same turn. I was okay with just play as written, which is you can force peace whenever you want.
It's an incredible weapon if you can do that.
I never mind. We were talking...
Oh, no, I don't mind at all, but it's...
Headless used to do that to me all the time, and it's very strong, but you can deal with it. I mean, you got to be quick on the buttons, because if he hasn't forced peace yet, if he's still moving his units and attacking, you can counter right there. And the other thing is, you can do things like put your own armies next to his city, and as soon as he declares war, then I can try to take his city. It doesn't necessarily give you a total free pass to just, victimize someone or something like that. Plus, engineering, it comes up fairly quickly.
It is kind of off path, though.
The really good use for the Great Wall, assuming, again, a fair opponent, is build some cities, and you were putting your defenses together, and you weren't fast enough, and here comes the army that's going to kill you. And then you say, oh, I have this builder, just happen to have this builder, and look at that, I've teched masonry, so I'm building the Great Wall, and you're going to go away for 15 turns or so. That's where it would probably really be the game changer.
That's just about it for good wonders.
Well, we didn't mention Oxford. Obviously, we've talked about Oxford bombers before, and if that's an option for you, we outlaw that in our tournaments, and it is allowed in some of the king things. Kind of depends on the king. If you're challenging a king, you should ask the king, can I do this?
Yeah. Strategically, and I found this in a lot of the games we played on the PS3 side, and it's been outlawed in most of the games I played on the Xbox side, but it seemed like actually using it on flight was the stronger play, because the other guy is going to use it on flight when he gets the chance, if he knows he's behind you.
Yeah.
If you sit there and you wait to try and use it on industrialization, he uses it on fly, and all of a sudden he's got planes and you've got to use your builder on something far less useful.
Oh, well, I mean, that's true. Although if you still get the money techs, you're still probably in better shape. Either way, flight or advanced flight are good techs to get.
In games that I've played, flight has been pretty hard to deal with. Just they can get all over the map with their planes all of a sudden.
Yeah, of course they have to have the ability to produce them. So
Yeah, they're going to want the money ticks. They want to charge for the money ticks as well. But presumably at that point, neither of you have the money ticks yet, because you've been waiting to GB Oxford as well. They've GB'd at flight first, so you're all of a sudden you've got to deal with planes flying around and preventing your settlers from going anywhere and that sort of thing.
Well, my thought there is just simply that we're typically ending before anyone could build Oxford University anyway.
Nowadays, yes.
It's kind of rendered the concern about that particular strategy to be fairly obsolete, I think.
We're not worrying about the internet either, even though that's a lovely wonder to build if you get the chance.
Or the Manhattan Project.
Yes, the Manhattan Project. That's a fairly good one too.
I mean, if you sit down and you want to build these wonders against me, well, I mean, you're probably not going to get the chance. So
that's probably about it for the great wonders up the top anyway.
I agree.